Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Friesen. I am part of Flipped Education, a Google Certified Teacher and a Google Apps for Education Certified Trainer. I wanted to give you a short overview of Google Earth and creating tours. There are a couple ways to make tours, and what I'm going to do is demonstrate the first one, which is probably the simplest and easiest entry point. Down here, there is a search bar, which is a new addition, and you can search for sightseeing. This is a preloaded folder that Google Earth has in when you start up for the first time. And if you check the checkbox, it will check everything in that folder. And if I highlight the top folder, the main folder, and then you can see all of the sub locations inside of it. When you highlight that folder, and this is blue, what you will see is a little icon pop up here which will say Play Tour. So if I hit Play Tour, what you'll see is a bar will show up right here. You have the ability to pause, you have the ability to save it when it's done, but what you're going to actually do here is watch the tour actually play. It will go to each of these locations for a few seconds and stay there and hover over it, and you can check it out. All of the views are top down, so that's one big difference to what I'm going to highlight later. And so and you can see that this would be a great way to highlight. Here's the Queen Mary. This would be a great way to highlight just a quick tour for like as students are walking into a room, or while you're giving a presentation about things in the background, about places that might be of interest. Those would be some easy ways to do this. So what I did do is I actually hit the pause button down here, and you can see the timer is stopped, and then you can actually zoom in and look in closer at some of these objects and check them out a little bit closer and see what's all about. So you could stop the show while it's going, and then when you want to resume, all you would have to do is hit the play button again, and then it would go back to the tour. So it's a great sort of less polished way to kind of create a tour that you can actually show off some of your locations without doing a lot of work. When your tour does end and you finish playing it and you've gone through all of your different place marks that you've created, you can hit the save button and save your tour. What will actually happen is it will bring up a box so you can name it. Naming it appropriately will help you find it later. You can add like an image or a link here or a simple description, and then you can hit OK. Now what's actually happened is, because I created that tour in the sightseeing category, you can see here at the bottom that it says Sample Simple Tour, and then if I want to bring that up, all I have to do is click on it, and you can see that on the play bar down here, it's starting to replay the tour. And it will go from location to location. And then of course, if you want to stop the tour at any point, you can put the pause button, zoom in and out, click on different icons, talk about each place, pan around, and then when you want to resume your tour, you can go back to it. So this is a simple way to create a tour based on items that you have in a folder. All of the items do need to be contained in a folder for you to use this feature down here. Now, a common question is how to share these tours that you've made. I'm going to just give you just a quick overview. Number one is, if you go to the sample simple tour that we created and I control click on it, there is a option that says save place as, and if I click on that, what it's going to actually do is create a KMZ file, and that is a file that is readable as a Google Earth file. And what I'm just going to do is save that to the desktop. If you email that to somebody and they double click on it, it will actually open up the tour in Google Earth. Another thing that you can actually do, that's just the movie. Another thing that you could actually do is select the whole folder and save that as and then it's actually the whole sightseeing folder including the movie that's in it. So depending on what you want to share, whether it's just the movie or whether it's all the place markers and all the information, that's probably the preferred. It's a larger file. But those are two ways to actually create KMZ files that can easily be emailed or put in Dropboxes or Google Drive. Alright, now I'm going to highlight another way to create a tour in Google Earth, and that one is a little bit more customizable and the one I actually prefer. Number one thing is we are going to just start at Antarctica, and what I've actually done here is if you haven't already done so, you need to put all the place markers that you want to put in the tour in a folder. So I just created a folder called Super Cool Tour. You can right click, add to folder, and create a new folder, and then drag and drop everything in there. All of these things are customizable, or allow you to drag and drop into different into a different order if you want to. Okay. What I like to do first off is I just want to clarify one point here to make sure that you realize that you can change the view. So let's say I wanted to have a slightly different view. I didn't like this view of Antarctica, so maybe I want to pan out a little bit and get the full continent. Then what I can actually do is, so this is, if I want to go to this location and I want to see this exact view, what I can actually do is go to here and hit snapshot, and then when I fly there, that's exactly what I will see. So that's a great little tip. And I've actually done that for all these other locations. And we're just going to go on a quick tour here of some of my favorite places. So first thing to do is up here is to create a tour or record a tour. And I'm going to click that, and what you'll see is now you have some record buttons and some microphones, so that's some things that you can play with the mic. I won't do that right now, but you can work on that on your own. And then what I want to do is hit the record button. And so what's going to happen now is it's going to record everything on my screen. It's going to record everything over here, but when you're doing this feature, essentially you're making a movie, and it won't record any of this stuff on the left-hand side, your menu bar. So that's a great place for you to basically navigate your movie and to make it smooth and easy. Now, if I want to go to the Galapagos Islands, if I click on this, the bubble's going to open up. And I don't like to fly to places and have the bubbles open. And so if you click in the white space beside it, like double click, what it's going to actually do is fly to the Galapagos Islands, but it's not going to open the place mark. And so what you can do is get to the place mark. You can even move it around a little bit. I'm doing this with a 3D mouse. You can also do this on your keyboard, but it tends to look a little bit jerky. So you can kind of get here and move it around so you have some nice visuals to this. And then when it is appropriate, you can open up the place marker to show what you want there. So that's me in the Galapagos Islands. And then what I'm going to just do is uncheck that box, and then it will go away. Now what we're going to do is fly to Nepal. So instead of clicking on the word Nepal, I'm clicking right beside it in the white space. That's my number one tip to make these things look good. And then what you do is you fly to Nepal, and then you say, okay, this is one of the high passes on a Annapurna circuit. You tell your story. It's much more engaging because people are actually looking at it. And then if appropriate and when you want to, you can throw up a picture and to kind of help tell the story. Now we're going to cruise over to the Andes. And so what's actually happening is whatever movements I do at each place mark, it's actually recording that for me. And so one of the things that you can actually do here is move things around, and that's exactly what your audience will see. If you open up a YouTube video and press play, it will not record the YouTube video, but what you can do is keep at the location for as long as the YouTube video plays, and then you can hit the play button. That's just a little trick, and it will look like it's being recorded, but it's actually not. The other thing that you can do here then is obviously open the bubbles, and when you open the bubbles in this movie view, they actually record, which is kind of nice. And then you can just always end up back at a central point. Now after you hit the stop record button, your play bar will pop up right here, and you can actually watch your movie to see how it actually looks. The first couple I did, I probably filmed them 3 or 4 times to get them to look good, and after a while you develop a fluency or you just have a higher tolerance for mistakes. But when you are done, make sure that you hit Save Tour, and what will actually happen is that will get dumped into here. So located right here is My Favorite Places. If I click on that, it'll actually just play the whole tour that I just recorded. And one other little trick that I just want to share with you is that under File, Save My Places, that's a way to make sure that you are saving things that you are creating. Usually it'll prompt you to save, but occasionally there's a crash with Google Earth or something unexpected happens. It's always nice to have these things saved so that they're ready for you. And then next time you want to play this movie or you want to play it for your audience, all you have to do is hit the play button and zoom it, and it will actually just record all of the movements that you already did. So you can see the panning happening right here, and then eventually what will happen is the place marker will actually open and your viewer will actually see that. So this is a great way to create canned tours for your students to actually interact with or for you to present as a storytelling. Obviously you can add your own audio and pictures, embed YouTube videos, and hopefully that this is a great glimpse about how you can create this and use this powerful tool in your classroom. Thank you very much.